Running down and starting lineup for the Matrix this evening, leading off at shortstop, number 26, Andrew Schmidt. Batting second, playing first, number 13, Gianni Pirano. Batting third in center field, number 19, Jay Van. Batting fourth, number 15, third baseman, Brian Baranoff. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 11, Brad Edwards Jr. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 6, Sean Petrowski. Batting seventh will be the DH, that's number 44, Luke Takunis. Batting seventh, the right fielder. That would be batting eighth, number 4, Jake Vesco. And batting ninth and catching, number 20, Logan Rooney.
Welcome here to Moody Park for some ACBL action between the New Brunswick Matrix and the Trenton Generals, as you just heard, starting lineups for the New Brunswick Matrix. Coming to the game, the
and taking warm-ups right now for the Generals, number 32, Trevor Wagner.
Staying at 5th in the Wolf Division. On Trenton Generals at 13-7, and 4-6 in the last 10, and 4th in the Wolf Division. On the mound today, Trevor Wagner for the Generals, rising senior at going to Immaculata. The ACBL season has 5 innings pitched and 0 earned runs so far in this short work.
And Wagner, again, as you just mentioned, it's only pitched in 5 innings, but a nice start to his summer for the Gens. And these two teams met, Jason, on Sunday in a big doubleheader for the Gens, a doubleheader sweep. Trenton's now won 3 of the last 4, and finally saw Trenton's bats come alive. In Game 1, they had the 7-5 victory and a go-ahead RBI, or excuse me, a go-ahead 2-run triple in Game 2 to win that one 4-2. They were down 2-0 headed to the bottom half of the 6th inning. They put up 4 runs in the bottom half of the 6th, and then in Game 1 they had the go-ahead RBI double for Chris Reeder. So some timely hitting led to a doubleheader sweep, and they're back at it, same place against the Matrix.
In the bat now, in the leadoff spot for the Brunswick, it's Andrew Schmidt. And Schmidt batting 258 on the year, 31 at bats, taking the first pitch for strike. They did bring the worst pitcher in the league. So, a little ad. Pitch for Wagner. Missed it. Low counts now 1-1. Wagner's stats as year at Immaculata, 28.1 innings pitched and 10 earned runs, allowing 31 hits and 33 strikeouts. So that's hit the shallow right field by Schmidt. Make the grab is a Matty right in the first half of this inning.
We'll get into Matty right when he comes to the plate, but he is coming off a huge doubleheader himself, starting to get hot. Second Gens player, one of 2 Gens players right now, hitting over 300 in their lineup.
That Gianni Pirano, first baseman, swinging missed up the first pitch. Now it's an all-star selection for the Matrix, and she hit a solo home run in the game out in Quakertown. Did a great job of representing New Brunswick in that game. Another swing miss there, a ball up around eyes, captain's now 0-2.
I'm glad I have something to do tonight.
Strike pitch. That's hit the shallow right field in the gap again. Matty Wright makes the play again for the second out. A little more difficult this time. Had to make somewhat of a run to the alley, but able to make the play.
Number 19,
exactly the starting one. Pure right-hander Wagner. Great start, 2 quick outs. Has not had to work deep into the count, and getting the 1-2 guys out. The number 2 guy being the all-star Pirano.
Now, center fielder Jay Bennett actually started the season with the Ocean Ospreys. They found that with the red bag, acquired midseason by the Matrix.
And we don't see many trades in the ACBL. We look at the transaction page every so often. Not many, but he's a part of one.
Yeah, very interesting to see that in a league like this. But this trade kind of jump-started the season as he's hitting 391 with the Matrix in 7 games with 6 RBIs to go with that. That hit up the middle, the first hit of the ball game. And he's at the high average with his new team.
And seeing it right there, up the middle, a nice piece of hitting, simple, short stroke.
Number 15,
2 out knock.
third baseman, Brian Baranoff.
Third PA announcer Brian Baranock is now batting in the 4-hole. A runner on first and 2 outs. Wagner gets set for pitch. Up go. First action day from the stretch. Baranock a rising sophomore at Ramapo College. The 1-0 pitch. Hit in the shallow left field. That's a blooper, and that was going to be a hit for Baranock. 2 singles in a row given up by Wagner. Just runners on first and second now, 2 outs.
Well, now all 4 hitters are
Number
early
11,
on in the count.
baseman Brad Edwards Jr.
Work for the last 2 hitters. A hard hit.
Edwards Jr. in the bat now, rising senior at Vanderbilt. Steps in for runner in scoring position, the man on first, 2 outs. Catches the outside of the zone. Does that pitch for Wagner make the count? 0-1. Looked like it was going to be a quick inning for Wagner after those 2 fly balls, but then 2 straight hits given up. And it's a little bit danger here of allowing a run with the runner in scoring position. That ball catch and go, count down. 1-1.
Yeah, and Edwards actually a transfer from Montclair State. That was going back, and he had a decent year at there, and he's from East Brunswick, so fittingly playing for the Matrix.
Which steps back for the 0-2 count. Trying to stay alive here and get a chance to bring in a run from second. Pitch. It's a hit to second baseman Hernandez. That can be a place made at second. That's the 3rd out of this inning.
For New Brunswick, the first, no runs, 2 hits. There were no
errors
errors and 2 left. After 1/2, New Brunswick nothing. Trenton coming.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the first here at Mooney Park after a scoreless top of the first with just 2 hits by the Matrix. We're now for the General's first turn and it passes. Okay. Our game today is brought to you by Northfield Bank, full service community bank with 38 branches serving Metro New York and New Jersey. Northfield Bank strives each day to uphold its mission to be the financial institution of choice for individuals and businesses by delivering innovative financial products with exceptional customer service. For more information, visit your local branch or call 833-301-NFBK. On the mound for the Matrix today.
Leading off for the Generals, center fielder, number 18, Scotty Young.
You heard leading off is Scotty Young, the California kid. Been typically hitting 3 home runs leading off today. Is Andrew Bell with corner roster, but he never played with it. See, you get set for the lefty right matchup. One pitch. Foul tips that. Defensive alignment for the Matrix on the mound, as I mentioned, tilting them behind the plate. Rooney. First base Pirano, second base Edwards Jr., shortstop Schmidt, Baranock at third, Trowski in left field, Bank in center, Pacheco in right field. See, hits that softly, and they're not. Should be an easy play. It was made on the first out, just 2 pitches.
And even though Young stands in at 6'6", 215, he can really get that ball
Number
down the line
17,
quickly.
first baseman Chris
Always
Reed.
make the tougher fielder try not to rush their throw. With Young's speed going down the line, but Baronoff makes the easy play.
Bet now, the 2-hole, Chris Reeder, rises senior at TCNJ. So, going on, 1 out. First pitch is up and inside, counts now 1-0. Reeder, 279 average, 86 games. This is ACBL season. Front door on the speed pitch counts now 1-1 catches.
They've got Montgomery and Lawrence.
And Sherry Hill is really good.
That's what I was talking
Town
about.
native steps into the batter's box for the 1-1 count.
They're led by.
Pitch.
Do not.
Up and inside, count on 2-1. And Hill is really working that up and inside part of the zone. We're trying to reach it there. His bat with Reeder so far. 3 pitches in that general location.
Reeder really starting to heat up at the plate. Getting just under 300 now.
Inside the foul territory, out of play, counts down 2-2.
And
6 hits in his last 4 games, including 2 multi-hit efforts.
Working from the stretch, he's over and on. That's back on the mound for the count that is even at 2. The pitch, off speed pitch, low out of the zone, count is now full.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even like man. For sure, you're looking for a base hit or here. Start something in the first inning. Pitch. He hits that softly back to Pirano. Possibly another out made by him. It does. Same play, same out. Now Young, 5-3 again.
Number 10, third baseman Aiden McNelly.
3-hole hitter Gianni McNelly in the bat now. Made the All-Star game for his Trenton Generals team. Rightfully so, hitting 296 on the year.
Well, it doesn't always work.
It's set. Tipped there by McNelly. A little ahead on the off speed.
Yeah, we didn't get to see McNelly against the Matrix in a doubleheader on Sunday. We'll have a chance to face them again next week when these two teams play.
Fastball low outside, counts down 1-1. Hilton, not a great start to these games. 15 games pitched, a 10.80 ERA. See, missing that time again. Counts down 2-1.
Yeah, he's really been rocked up. I mean, he played the Gens earlier this year and was tagged for 5 hits, 3 runs, and 4 innings. Played the Kings, gave up 6 runs on 3 hits. Then played the Kings a week later, 3 runs and 3 hits. He's really been struggling on the mound. It's really been the Kings. I mean, 3 of those 4 games he's really been roughed up this season, but just blown up his ERA were against South Jersey.
3-1 count there after 3rd miss in a row. Pitch. Foul territory. Looks in play for Marano, and he does make the play coming against the fence for the 3rd out. Nice job not getting scared by the fence approaching him and making the last out of the inning. We'll be right back here for the bat. Welcome back here for ACBL action. The big people with Trenton general for coming in top of the with no run. From that video, we're the proud sponsor of ACBL baseball. That's third for listening. Our.com, our.com, on Shatner Airline, 532. It's hard to say. No. Back down for the weekend. Dog with its brown. Left field.
Leading off, Matrix left fielder, Dawn Petrowski.
First pitch to the inning for Wagner. Hey. Misses the lower edge of his own. Counts that 1-0. Matrix threatened to score there last inning, putting a runner on second. So with only 2 outs, so Edwards was able to make that final. I'm sorry. Fernandez was able to make the final play at second. Edwards came up to bat. 2-0 count now. Pitch fouled back. Now 2-1.
What's called? Okay. Is that what word I was looking for? Actually, yeah, just moved. Yeah, that's right. Who?
Petrowski rises to sophomore. Rambo. 2-1 pitch. Catches outside edge of the zone. Right there. Petrowski look at that. Count now 2-2.
I'm sure it's going to get different from body. Yeah, that was pretty accurate.
And the count pitch. Also a pitch. Misses the count out 4.
Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
The payoff pitch from Wagner. Catches the outside of the zone. That's a strikeout looking Jesse's book so far. Great job working that outside edge of the plate from Wagner.
Number 44.
Strikes him. And led to that strikeout.
Yeah, getting ahead of the count is especially important for this right-hander. Did so just there, and a nice way to end that at bat.
Right now, the DH Luke Lewis, Wagner misses that first pitch, keeps trying to work outside edge of the plate, counts down 1-0. Pitch from Wagner. Catches the inside edge of the zone, counts down 1-1 with 1 out. Outside edge again for Wagner. 1-2, really working that spot. A great spot to work is it's hard for hitters to make any great contact with that. The pitch. Foul. Almost hits Jacob Fetchko, who is in the warm-up spot outside the dugout. Counts now 1-2. Another 1-2 pitch from Wagner. There's a strikeout there, 2 strikeouts in a row from Wagner, this time swinging.
Number 4, right fielder, Jake Vesco.
Jacob Fesco's just dodged foul ball there, really just in the bat now. Right fielder is a rising sophomore. Dayton. First ball is up and away there. Counts now 1-0.
I'd say that's what we all call
1-0 pitch.
Even all pronouncing
Off the plate. Now 2-0. One of the first variable counts for Matrix hitter this is Pacheco would look to capitalize on base.
Come on, going 5 innings forever. And if I go back to the tech, like
Strandis there. Count now 2-1.
And Wagner didn't showcase much strikeouts, so it was undering about half a strikeout per inning. at Immaculata in 2021, but this year he's been averaging over 1 strikeout per inning in his 2 ACBL games.
Swing and miss there. A check out.
After that, beautiful thought on it. Now, what?
2-2 pitch from Wagner. Another swing and miss there. 3 straight strikeouts. Trevor Wagner. So he sets down the side. 1, 2, 3. We'll be right
Running
back
Brunswick in the second, now one throw. There were no errors and none left. After
Come back here from the youth Brunswick general. Talking by Pirano. The land population of the heart is 200 and 9 roads. Pirano has thousands of the play game award for each down home. Like the sales of the time, you're delivered to the field at Lady Park. There, that's out of your units behind Wagner and you work. That comes second as struck out the side. Come back here, on it, back here. As the general, you probably get the first again. You got now 4 holes. That's right here.
And Jason Wright coming off a huge doubleheader, 5 for 7. He had a run, 3 RBIs, including a 2-run double and an RBI single in game 1. He's starting to heat up for this Gianni team, hitting over 300 now on the season. Coming off a nice college year, or excuse me, high school senior season at Somerville in 446. Showcasing speed too, 10 stolen bases in the spring, so if he gets on base, watch for him as a threat to steal.
Transfers, steps, the bat.
leading off, good general right fielder for 26, Matty Wright.
You didn't measure this.
Filton. Passes the outside edge. Out there. 0-1. Filton will be a rising sophomore at Siena. All from Monmouth Beach, New Jersey. 1-0 pitch. 0-1 pitch. Now it's counted 1-1 after that miss. One. Foul. It's out play over the dugout. It is counted down 1-2.
Based on the noise level,
Filton between June 19th and July 7th gave up at least 3 earned runs in which 4 appearances in that time. So a very rough stretch. In the middle of the season for Filton. Turn it around here. And get some momentum going into the playoffs.
and varsity did not have this very
Found out even at 1.
by the plan. And we had this is on that CD like that.
Well, it gets catches the outside edge. That was actually at 1-2, and that's going to be a strikeout for Matty Wright. Looking.
Number 19, second baseman, Jared Hernandez.
Nice pitch by Tilton. Got the call, Wright didn't like it.
Now, second baseman, Jared Hernandez, who moves himself up in this order with recent streak of innings. Typically with that, what, 8, 7 spot around there earlier in the season. See, the big swing is there. One strike from that now. Shot there for Pirano. That's gonna be a quick out for the second out of the inning.
It's 5 up, 5 down for the right-hander.
Number 9, the catcher.
He comes from a
Gabe
baseball
Cato.
family. His dad was actually drafted by the Phillies in 1996, and he spent 4 seasons in professional baseball.
In the bat now, Gabe Queso, 6-hole. That'd be a freshman at County College Morse. Ball misses.
Comes also from a family of Siena graduates. His uncle and dad attended Siena. Of course, his dad played there for 4 years.
Like,
Baseball is for Birmingham's other. And for the head, he wants to play soccer.
Going to the top right and pretty over the evening. There's a lot of kids here. We could that. We're a big run down. There's 5 straight. We're on the time. Number 31, Taylor Caden Wolf. That now, go to the he's seen that good sound. It's a very good net. Proper. Hopefully, catch it greater than the single. Hopefully, able to back it by another question. Down. And the 200. Number 23, yeah. But there's my primary. Protection of PH. John Boy. President. First one, the team on second. Back. Both of them, baby.
I think started his ACBL season on the right note and going 1 for 2 in a run against the Ospreys. But he's struggled since then.
1-0 from Tilted. Inside, count that 2-0. I'll be saying there now would be false. So again, it's 9 to count. Shakes off. Sorry. Shakes off another. That's what he likes. Count now. 2-0. Pitch. Hit. Up the middle. That doesn't get past Ontario, but he's in there safe. Frankovich from that infield single. Loading the bases here with 2 outs.
The Gens picking up
Number
on things
2,
where they left
stop, Jake DeClerico.
6th inning in game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. Now today, loading the bases, a little 2-out rally here by Trenton.
Yeah, that was a difficult plate there to make for Schmidt. That ball is deep in the gap between him and the second baseman. Got to go a long way to that. And legit unable to make the play as you saw.
This is a big opportunity for the rising junior at Rutgers to make a name for himself with the Gens. He's still looking for his first hit in the summer. He's only played in 3 games, so limited time here with the club.
Just gets set. The pitch. Off speed and catches the inside edge. Counts down 0-1. Basil at third, Wolf at second, Rekovich at first.
Yeah.
Well, that's on the pond here. For haircut. Off the plate. Count down 1-1. Turn shakes over on their side and gets set. The 1-1. Big cut there from the haircut. They count 1 and 2 after that miss. Erica and Rooney not seem to be on the same page as two pitchers as Tilton and Rooney. They have lost down. Don't seem to be on the same page. A lot of these pitchers has been shaking off a lot. Besides Rooney. Now it's now 1 and 2 still. Now foul ball. It's a basketball board. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Ducks on the pond here. Declaring that ball. 1-2. Foul. I'll play again. Just stay alive here. The pitchers count by declaring that ball.
Clerico would transfer from Morris County College. Struggled there as well, hitting under 200 there as a sophomore. Excuse me, as a freshman actually in 2021.
Clerico searching for his first 5th year of the ACBL season. It would be a big one. But now his own counts out even at 2 outs. Here in a second.
He's doing a nice job of working the count, making Tilton work. Looked like it would be another 1-2-3 inning for the right-hander, but he struggled.
Pitch from Tilton. Foul tip there. Rooney's unable to squeeze it for the 3rd out. Clerico stays alive. No hits on the season. Clerico's worked 3 walks. Such a short time. Great job on working the pitchers and on base, not the conventional way. 2-2 pitch. Austin pitch and just misses the top inside edge of the zone. That was a close pitch there. Clerico one you would think you would have to swing at. Lucky there, counts out 3-2.
Yeah, that was a risky take. It pays off, and now ball away from walking in the run.
Runners will be off here on the off pitch with 2 outs. The 3-2 from Tilton. And that's going to be a walk home a run. This case is going to come home and won't. Yeah, there. It's my pass ball. And the score is now 0-1. Jen's up.
Well, you're Tilton, you really have to pitch the Scotty Young carefully. We know the damage he can do.
Number 18, center fielder.
No argument, he's
Young.
the Gen's best hitter since he came over from out west.
There's no wild pitch there.
Sky, as mentioned, very deeply here. It could bring home multiple runs here. Look what he's doing. He gets that deep in the right field. That play, it's not made by Pacheco. And that's going to score 3 runs. This guy's going to try to get the triple here. And he's going to get in there standing 3-run triple from Scotty Young. And just when he said Scotty Young's the most dangerous hitter on his team, he brings home 3 runs with 1 swing of the bat on the triple.
Look at that. 2 straight games with big triples for the Gens. We saw Ferry with the 2-run triple in game 2 in the 6th inning, and then Scotty Young here in the 2nd, breaking things open 4-0. About a 6-6 man from out west.
Got now Chris Reeder rounded out to the 3rd baseman in his first at bat earlier.
I thought it was going to be way over his head, and I thought, oh, he wasn't.
That ball just seemed to carry over Pacheco's head, and it looked like it was going to be a tough play to Lakeville. It just kept carrying, though. Allowed Scott Young to get the 3rd. That ball misses. Counts now 1-0 to Reeder.
Yeah, because the entire
This rough season continues. 4 runs in less than 2 innings pitched.
was not all this year.
One up. That's hitting the shell, even the left center gap. That play is made on by chance and a great way to end this inning, preventing another run scoring. One runner left on, not before Generals are able to get a 4 across the plate, including on a
Or Trenton in the second,
Scotty
4
Young.
runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and a 1-1. After 2, Trenton 4, New Brunswick nothing.
Right back here. Third inning.
Catcher Logan Rooney leads things off here in the top of the third inning. Third inning brought to you by the Rural Financial Group. Rural Financial Group is the major sponsor of Trenton Generals Baseball, located in Princeton. The Rural Financial Group is an office of the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Call 609-951-8700 to set up a meeting with the representative today. Rooney will lead things off. Rising sophomore at UMass Amherst, having a great summer so far, hitting .364. Jason, we've seen a lot of catchers this summer so far, having good years at the plate. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, mentioning Matt Shepard around the Kings having a great year. Chris Reeder, who's playing first now, but does play behind the plate sometimes.
Catcher 20, Logan Rooney.
Ocean Ospreys very well as well. Both made the All-Star games. Great season for catchers all around.
Rooney from Chatham, New Jersey, down south. Wagner back on the mound for his third inning of action. Pitches out side part of the plate for strike one.
Great job of recollecting himself by Wagner in that first inning after giving up 2 straight hits.
And the 0-1 fouled back on the first base side. The count moves to 0-2.
Coming back in the second, striking out the side.
Wagner doing a nice job so far, getting ahead early in the count. Making the matrix hitters trying to fight off a pitch and stay alive. So the 0-2 is on the way. Once fouled back again. Count remains 0-2. And the 0-2 from Wagner. The foul, giving chase to the first baseman Reeder, comes in, makes the catch for out number 1.
Seen 2 pretty solid plays from first baseman.
Number 26,
Making the plays. Foul to Torrey, run by Morano and now by Reeder.
Now Andrew Schmidt, the shortstop, stands in from the left side. And Schmidt, another one of those players who was traded over as well, came over to the Matrix from the Ospreys. As we mentioned, Jay Bent was the same. Only his third game as a Matrix. Is in there for a strike in the count 1-1.
It's like the Ocean Ospreys are somewhat of a pipeline for new Brunswick Matrix players to make their way here.
Off to a nice start, 2 for 4 on the summer for the Matrix. After struggling with the Ospreys, that one's chopped to third. A great scoop by the third baseman McNelly. Throws to first in time for the out. And a nice pick from the third baseman McNelly.
Very great grab there, as you mentioned. That these ACBL fields are play-ons.
Number 13,
Lots of times. McNelly's able to read it and get it over the reader.
Gianni Pirano at the plate. Flew out to right in his first at bat. Takes strike one, and once again, the right-hander Wagner gets ahead in the count. Pirano on the season, hitting slightly under 270. Now the 0-2 count. And for a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning is Wagner. Over at Keene, that is, hitting under 270. Strikes out there. A 3-pitch strikeout to end the top half of the third inning for the right-hander Wagner. We get to the bottom half of the third. Aiden McNelly lead things off for the Gens. You're watching ACBL baseball on NJ College Baseball Nation. Aiden McNelly made a great play in the top half of the third inning to lead things off for Trenton. This game is sponsored by Applebee's. Your local Applebee's grill and bar locations are located in Mercer and Bucks County at 3330 U.S. Highway 1 in Lawrenceville, 333 Route 33 in Hamilton, and 2 West Road in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Applebee's is a proud sponsor of Gens Baseball.
Leading off for the Generals, third baseman, number 10, McNelly.
Tilton back on the mound, his third inning of action after getting roughed up in the second. If you're just joining us, the Gens put up a 4 spot in the bottom half of the second. Pitches the outside part of the plate for strike one. It was a 2-out rally, Jason. 2 quick outs, and then a few singles, a walk, and a huge 3-run triple from McNelly. That one's chopped down the third base side foul. Scotty Young stays hot, and then we saw a great play by the center fielder, Ban, to prevent another run from scoring on a hard hit ball by Chris Reeder.
Big hit there earlier in this game from Scotty Young. That ball just kept sailing over the checker's head. And Young definitely had that pop and seen in deep balls all season.
So McNelly falls behind 1-2. Gens offense coming alive the past few games. That one's ripped down the line foul, and the count remains 1-2.
A little later on this for McNelly, that could be at least a double going down that left field line.
And the 1-2. One's off the inside of the bat, right back to the pitcher. Tilton tosses to first, an easy out for out number 1. Now Matty Wright back to the
Number
plate.
26, right fielder, Matty Wright.
Again attending Stony Brook in the fall. He'll be a freshman there. The initial offering is fouled back. Struck out looking in his first at-bat, was unhappy with the call. And it was Tilton's first strikeout and his only strikeout of the afternoon so far. Playing 2 games today, a 5 p.m. doubleheader. This is game 1, of course.
It's definitely not 2017. If you 2012 or 2014, okay.
And Tilton's 0-1. In the dirt, in front of home plate, the count 1-1.
Look back at a strikeout from Manny Wright. Second inning. Ball seemed to be outside edge of play. Looked like it just missed, but Lopez has been given the outside edge more times than not this game so far. So I would remember that when you're at the plate.
And that 1-1 was bounced about 6 feet to the right of home plate, in front of home plate, outside the batter's box. That was an odd pitch from Tilton. It came out of his hands weird. Certainly a pitch Wright will not be swinging at. The 2-1. That one is lined into left, drops down for a base hit in front of Piotrowski, and a 1-out single for Wright. He stays hot. Now 6 for his last 9.
The reason he's seeing the floor hole, definitely one of the higher hitters for this team so far this season with that 306 average.
Number 19, second baseman, Jared Hernandez.
Hernandez, who plays at Mercy College. 27 games in the spring, 19 of them were starts. Tilton steps off the mound. Matty Wright looking to steal. And the pitch. Up high and outside, the count 1-0. We talked about Tilton's dad, who was drafted by the Phillies. Well, Hernandez's favorite baseball team, favorite sports team actually, is the Phillies. Wonder if Hernandez knows Jason's dad. Probably not. And there goes Wright, as that one's fouled down the third base side, giving Chase Piotrowski out of play. And Wright will have to go back to first.
Let's say Hernandez is probably not alive.
He definitely was not alive.
Wright's dad was playing, or Tilton's dad was playing for the Phillies. I think that.
Retired in 2000. Of course. Which is grounded over the second. Or excuse me, the short. Schmidt has it, throws to second in time. Force out is made. That ends the bottom half of the
For Trenton in the third, no runs, 1 hit.
Top
There were
half
no
of the
errors
third
and
inning.
none left. After 3, Trenton 4.
After 3 innings,
Brunswick nothing.
Trenton leads 4-0 over the Matrix. Hot hitting Jay Bant will lead things off for the Matrix. And this top half of the fourth inning is brought to you by King's Pizzarama, just a long toss away from Moody Park at 200 Ewingville Road. King's Pizzarama, grab the sponsor, the Player of the Game Award for each Gents game this season. Great slices, sandwiches, and pies. They'll even deliver for that Moody Park. And coincidentally, we have a former King's Pizzarama player of the game, Gens player in the booth, and press box with it. With us, he's not on the air right now, of course, but Anthony St. John sitting to the left of us, talking with the general manager, Mike Fulshin. St. John will see him presumably in game 2, or will be starting here in game 1. Trevor Wagner rolling along. No runs, 2 hits. Both of those hits coming in the first inning. He set down the last 7 batters.
Third matrix, fielder.
Nate comes to the plate. Second on the team with a .391 average. But again, he's only played 7 games. And if you're looking at a minimum amount of plate appearances, the guy in first, Schmidt, is only sitting .500, but he's only had 4 at-bats. So Petrillo really is first in that category, sitting .391. He's not in the lineup in game 1, and that's a big loss for the Matrix at the count now 1-1. Not a big loss, but a big hole for the Matrix to fill, not having Petrillo here for at least game 1. And now the 1-1. That one is skied into left. Under it is Wolf. Makes the catch for out number 1.
Number 15, third baseman, Brian Baranoff.
Now 8 straight set down by the right-hander Wagner. None of them particularly hard-hit balls. 4 of them via the strikeout. One hitter, the 9-hole hitter Rooney fouled out. That one's lined down the right field line by Baranic. Now the play. Count now 0-1. Baranic reached in the first on the single. Thrown out at second on a fielder's choice.
Pirano is the last hit for the Matrix in this game so far.
The 0-1 outside and low in the count 1-1. Aronach only hitting 185 coming into today. Does have 3 homers, 9 RBI, so he does show some pop in that bat. Actually second on the team behind only Morano in home runs.
You see guys with pop, sometimes he consistency of strikeouts as he struck out in 5 of his last 6 games at least once.
Now the 1-2 on the way from Wagner. Swung on and missed. 5th strikeout of the afternoon for the right-hander. Now 9 straight sent down by Wagner.
Arm warming up for the Jones.
Number 11, second baseman,
Whoa.
Brian Edwards Jr.
You might not see him. Maybe even 6.
Edwards on the first pitch lines one to right. That one drops inside the foul line. Now heading over the second is Edwards Jr. He slides in with a double. The throw is offline into the foul territory and left, and heading over the third is Edwards Jr. So just like that, the run of 9 straight set down by Wagner ends.
You know, not the greatest throw you saw there from Jerry Hernandez as that really got past.
Number 6, left fielder, Sean Petrowski.
Out Edwards up, so I'll make that play, especially when it's only from second base to the short.
This scoreboard? Looks like we have 11.
Petrowski comes up. He's only hitting 162. Edwards, then coming into this one, only hitting 167. The struggling second baseman getting on in a big way, trying to get the Matrix back into this one. Petrowski, normally a catcher, is playing left today. That pitch is high in the count 1-1. No homers, 4 RBIs on the season. Struck out looking in his first at-bat. And the 1-1 from Wagner. Off the plate, the count 2-1. No runs on 3 hits for the road team Matrix, and 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. That came by Jared Hernandez's throw just a moment ago for the Gens. The 2-1 lined right under the glove and off the glove of the third baseman McNelly. Coming around to score is Edwards Jr. Reaching first is the left fielder Piotrowski. That was ruled a hit, so an RBI single. That was a tough play for McNelly. We saw him make a great backhanded play
Number 40.
in the second and in the third inning, excuse me. Couldn't make that play, and Matrix are on the board.
Really hard to get a ball in there from Piotrowski. Extremely difficult, but it make there on the back end. Yeah, the ball for missing that one.
Pitch outside to count 1-0. Kunis is at the plate. Kunis hitting .240 on the season, no homers, 6 RBIs. Pitch outside 2-0. Jason, just like that, after Wagner is off to a nice bounce back after a inning where he allowed 2 singles in the first, set down 9 in a row. Now a double and RBI single, and a meeting at the mound with new head coach Mike Coryell. Grant Neary, if you're wondering, took a job as the head coach with his collegiate baseball team that he was an assistant coach for, but now per NCAA recruiting rules, he's not allowed to coach the summer team as well. So he had to leave the team, unfortunately, in order to not violate the NCAA rules. And stepping in this place is Byron Koo, who was the first base coach and now the new assistant coach for the Gens.
All the best wishes to Grant Neary in his future career in NCAA. Really happy that he pushing on that team.
The mound meeting over. Bakunis at the plate, struck out in his last at bat. It's a string of 3 straight strikeouts for the right-hander Wagner. So now the count 2-1. And the 2-1 swung on and missed. Count 2-2. This is a big pitch from Wagner. Does not want to extend this inning any longer. Becks go on deck. The 2-2. Off the plate, down low, and the count moves to full.
It's powerful and cold. A little scary to see from Wagner after his box part after that first inning. Now 2 base runs allowed, as you mentioned, and possibly 3 here. The outcome is that bad.
Kunis from South Plainfield, New Jersey. 3-2. The runner going just off the just on the outside part of the plate. Strike 3 called by home plate umpire Mike Beal.
In the fourth, 1 run, 2.
Top half of the fourth.
1 left.
Matrix score 1, lead 1 on.
New Brunswick.
Gens lead the Matrix as we get to the bottom half of the fourth. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation ACBL action. Gabe Peso leads things off for the Gens. And the bottom half of the fourth inning is brought to you by Wildflowers Inn with its great upscale menu. Wildflowers Inn on the Pennington Circle at 2572 Pennington Road also has a 20% discount for players in uniform, upscale dining, and a great atmosphere. Pre-game, post-game, anytime. Check out Wildflowers Inn. Peso walked in his first at bat to jumpstart the 2-out rally. So that's a 4 runs, the bottom half of the second for the Gens.
Leading off for the Generals, catcher, number 9, Gabe.
Good bounce back in that third for Chilton. Gave up a hit though, but was able to get out. Only facing 3 batters after the double play. Made by Schmidt.
And the pitch swung on and missed by Queso, going into attack mode on his first pitch of the at-bat. You don't see a pink and green bat very often, but Queso sports one. The 0-1. Outside.
Aaron. I don't see that color bat that often, especially that neon green and pink.
Yeah.
We saw Tilton bounce the same pitch in the dirt that he threw an inning ago, about 7 feet outside of home plate. Now a looping curve. So after a poor pitch on the 1-0 count, or excuse me, the 0-1 count, comes back with a great off-speed pitch in the count now 1-2.
Great pitcher, Tilton in case of knew it. You saw him turn his head and goes to that little side.
A 1-2, another off-speed pitch. Queso chases, swung on and missed. The catcher throws to first. Strikeout number 2 on the afternoon for the right-hander.
Number 31, Miller, Ethan, 1.
Opening 172 on here, 16 games for the Giants. By Bobby Live, the pitch. Nathan for strike. Go on. Off-speed pitch. I'm really using that curveball here in the inning. Both on. Pitcher Queso. From opening down, putting on the same pitch. No 2 count. Pitch transforms 1 on the Jets. So now they can check back to the games.
Number 22, Sheriff Franklin.
Actually got like getting lost in 2000. It's a real nice 3 games. In the draft, flag for that.
Big team, average and senior year. Pitcher and after.
Excuse me, one that still more in that direction. Now we're going on what half walk on the next. We're going to the third wall. Back to the field legal and reverse that. Ready, one. That was for the big side line. Right inside the Bowser, where strikeout, and a foul out. And that's the top half of the 5th inning with the Gens up 4-1. You're watching ACBL Baseball on NJ College Baseball Nation. And we welcome you back as we begin the top half of the fifth inning. Trevor Wagner going strong through 4. He'll stay on the mound for inning number 5. This game is brought to you by Team Toyota. Team Toyota of Langhorne and Princeton have kept us on the road for decades with impeccable sales and customer service. Call 609-745-6394 in Princeton or 215-791-8831 in Langhorne for more. ACBL Baseball brought to you by Team Toyota. Be a part of the team.
Leading off for the
Mexico will lead things off. He struck out his first at-bat back in the second inning. Pitches glide into right. Right gives chase. That one's out of play. And the count now 0-1.
Let's go part of that side that struck out in the second.
Wagner 6 strikeouts through 4 innings. The 0-1 up high inside, 1-1.
They're all his strikeout problem this whole ACBL season. It's like an out 19 of 21 games played.
Mexico lines one foul down the third base side. The count now 1-2. Mexico will be a sophomore at Dayton in the fall. Was named MVP at Monroe Township. He's named team MVP his senior year at Monroe Township. Varsity player for 2 years there. Now playing D1 baseball over in Ohio. The 1-2 on the way. That one's fouled back, and the count remains 1-2. On deck, Logan Rooney.
7-2.
Popped up foul territory to the first baseman Reader in his first at bat.
I know it's a 1-1.
And the 1-2 from Wagner. Hits Vesco right in the hands, the right hand. Shakes that one off, and he'll head down to first base. The leadoff man on for the Matrix.
Knuckles are definitely one of the worst places to get hit. Really shoots strong.
Number 20, the catcher, Logan Rooney.
Hits.
Logan Rooney at the plate now.
Gotta play one more inning. And we're lucky with only 25. We didn't know how it was down the road.
Fastball in there for strike 1. Becks go on first after the hit by pitch. On deck is Andrew Schmidt.
Yeah, I didn't really want it.
The 0-1. Check swing foul. Over the first base side, the count now 0-2. Gen still with a comfortable 4-1 lead. Matrix do have 4 hits over the 4 innings played so far. No outs, a chance to add on, especially if the catcher Rooney can find his way on. And the 0-2 from Wagner. Strike 3 called outside part of the plate. Catcher Rooney doesn't like it. Wagner will take it. That's his 7th strikeout of the afternoon.
Number 26, shortstop, Andrew Schmidt.
Looking forward in this game, I feel like it's going to be decided by the relief pitcher. Both these pitchers have had their good stretches throughout this game and proven they can retire a few batters in a row.
Andrew Schmidt swings and misses on strike 1 on the initial pitch, and the 0-1 count now. Schmidt, who attends Monmouth, will be a sophomore there in the spring. Pitches outside 1-1. Excuse me, a sophomore there in the fall. But in the spring, saw limited time, played 17 games, I think 300. 1 RBI. And now the 1-1 from Wagner. Lined into center, coming in is Young. Can't make the play, but stops it from going under his glove with the backhand. Sliding into second is Vexco, and a single for Schmidt.
Yeah, rough play there to make by Young. That ball was just in that awkward spot where not sure you should try to make a grab at it or stay back to make sure it doesn't get past you and allow runners to advance. So probably the right decision there to stay back and not make a mistake there, allow runners to advance.
And we see that all too often. Player tries to come in this ACBL summer. Player tries to come and make a great play, be the hero for his team in the field, and the ball ends up getting past him, leading to an error, potential run scoring, more runners on base. But Young doing the right thing there, keeping the ball in front of him, a nice backhanded play. But Wagner's got to work out of this one. He's only allowed one run, but now runners on first and second with one out, and Morano coming to the plate. One of
Number
Brunswick's
13,
best
first
hitters.
baseman, Gianni Pirano.
Hitting .298 on the season. Leads the team with 4 homers and 17 RBIs. It's not even close. Second place on the team is with 12 RBIs. Lagra Venice. Pitch just swung on and missed.
Started with the all-star like action here and cut into this lead that the Generals have.
First and second. The pitch. Outside and low. The count 1-1. Jay Ban on deck. He already has a single today. He's another threat at the plate. He has been hot as well lately after coming over in the trade from the Ospreys.
Oh, that was that.
Schmidt on first. Vexco on second. Pitch outside 2-1.
Good work on the plate from Case on this at bat, blocking multiple pitches, and you see him as kind of a defensive option for the Generals. Is probably the better defender of the catchers that they have on the plate.
And the 2-1 from Wagner. Line down the third baseline fair. Past the glove of McNelly. Scooped up by Wolf, and rounding third is Vexco. He scores. Sliding safely into third is Schmidt. Into second goes Morano, and a RBI double for the first baseman.
It's all got it.
Close play there at third. That Schmidt was able to sneak in there, get his hand in before the nice throw was made in by Wolf, and he was able to avoid a tag by McNelly. Definitely a very close call as the umpires looking to discuss over here.
What did you say is Perry's first name?
Yeah.
Dave Perry confers with Mike Beal, and Perry confirms the safe call. Dave Perry over at second, Beal over behind home plate. Now Mike Coryell will come out and talk to his pitcher, Wagner. He's now giving up 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. And takes the ball from the right-hander. Wagner's day is done. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher for the Gens when we come back. The Matrix storming back into this one. Down 4-0, now 4-2 in the 5th. We'll be right back here watching Trenton Generals Baseball on NJ College Baseball Nation. New pitcher on the mound for the Gents, right-hander Jake Potts. Behind the plate is Cole Casamento missing the Queso. An interesting switch there, Jason. The catcher coming out as the new pitcher comes in. I don't think Potts has his own personal catcher, a la Garrett Cole with former Yankee Gary Sanchez. But we will see Casamento now behind the plate. Potts on the mound. Potts 1-0 with a 2.53 ERA, 5 games, 4 starts. Over 10 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts. Been a little wild. The average is just about 1 walk per inning. So watch for that with runners on second and third for the Matrix.
I guess behind the Casamento cases, which is one of the bigger bat and line as Casamento's had a better offensive year.
Number 19, center fielder Jay Bann.
More insurance runs here. I think they're gonna have Casamento in the back.
Jake Potts appeared in 5 games for the Seton Hall Pirates back in the spring, just under 5 ERA. Pitch inside to Bant, and the count now 1-0.
And they are going to next game, correct? Yeah, I think they should all go in.
Schmidt over at third, Morano at second, the 1-0. A Baltimore chop finds the glove of the second baseman. Hernandez fields the first in time, but Schmidt will score and Morano moves over to third.
Number 15, third baseman Brian Baranoff.
That's the advantage you have when you have a runner on third. A lot of ways to score, especially when there's only 1 out. And then
Baranoff had a single in the first, a strikeout in the fourth. First pitch taken for a ball. Tying run now over at third and Morano, following his RBI double. 4-3 to score. The pitch inside, the fastball in on the hands of the third baseman. The count now 2-0.
He's got a kidney disease assistant. Yeah, I would say it's not exactly a doc. But it's not. It's really like a doctor.
The 2-0. Outside and low, the count 3-0. Potts, the lone bright spot in a tough 10-0 loss when the Kings no-hit the Gens back on the 14th. 3 innings, gave up no earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And the 3-0 on the way. And they're part of the plate. They count now 3-1. First base is open, so is second. As the All-Star Morano takes his lead off of third.
Well, not
Pitch outside, and Baranek draws the 5-pitch walk. Runners on the corners for Edwards Jr.
Junior always has a big hit live and double, which got him the third on that.
Number 11,
That's
Grant Edwards Jr.
huge spot.
Yeah. No, that's man wrong.
And now Potts
Considering the source, I'm sure you know.
has to get out of the mess made by Wagner. That was fouled back for strike 1.
Right. Right. No, I think that's actually, you know, a good point. I mean, I love the game double when there's not every game meant something. Yes, I totally agree.
The 0-1 coming from Potts. Sliced down the first base side. The count now 0-2.
Bounce back here after the walk and 2 strikes. You don't get out this inning.
Right. Well, you know,
That's high. Made by the Matrix.
It was like
Potts 1 strike away from getting out of the inning
both
unscathed. The pitch fouled back, and it's still 0-2.
every year we had between 2 and 4 games that didn't mean anything, and it wasn't worth the difference of left. And that was the worst part of it. And that's what you
Trafsky is on deck. Had an RBI single last
I
inning.
understand ESPN's one to show you. Lock it down. No, this is very before that.
Edward Jr.
Oh, so.
Not sure if he's
for me-
getting a new pair of batting gloves, but he walks all the way over to the first base side. I think he's taking his batting gloves off. Takes something off of his hand. Not sure if that was a batting glove.
Yeah, Rip doesn't seem to be affecting his swing, but
That's it.
not sure what happened there.
Right. Very well, or you appreciate that if you want.
After the slight delay, the 0-2. Rounded over the second. Hernandez has it, charges, throws in time for the out. After 2 more runs for the Matrix, they cut Trenton's lead to 4-3 as we get to the bottom of the 5th. We're watching Trenton Generals Baseball and NJ College Baseball Nation. Nick Curcio now on the mound replacing Tyler Tilton here in the bottom of the half of the 5th inning. Bottom half of the 5th is brought to you by Ansec Plumbing. The bottom half of the 5th is brought to you by Rover and Vale Real Estate. Rover and Vale Real Estate is a proud sponsor of ACBL baseball. South Jersey source for real estate, rovervale.com, or call Chapman Vale at 856-571-5336. Tilton's day is done after 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Nick Curcio, a rising sophomore at Montclair State from Hackettstown, New Jersey.
And we got a new pitcher.
Left-handed hits at 6'1", 200. He's only appeared in 4 games this season, with an ERA of over 30.
Leading off for the Generals.
Jason, Nick
shortstop,
Curcio
number 2.
has struggled this
Let's
season.
not go.
17 hits over 4 2/3 innings. He's only made 1 start. But you really look at those numbers, it's 1 game where he was lit up. I should say 2 games. He gave up 12 runs on 12 hits in 2 innings back in June. And then on June 18th, his last appearance, so he's gone over a month between appearances, gave up 4 runs on 4 hits in less than an inning against the Metros. He works quickly in the count now 2-0 inside the shortstop DeClerca.
Yeah, looking back on Tilton's alley, he did a great job bouncing back in that second, facing only 6 batters in that 3rd and 4th inning. Facing the minimum. So great job of keeping Matrix in this game, allowing them to fight back to get this lead down to 1.
So 9-1-2 coming up in the order for Trenton. The count now 2-1. Curcio's pitch outside part of the plate, and the count 2-2. A big chance here for the Gens against the left-hander who has struggled this season for the Matrix. Again, over a month between appearances now. His last one coming on June 18th. Chance for the Gens to try to break things open up 4-3. Baltimore chop again. Bounce over the second baseman, Edwards Jr., who charges, throws just in time to make the play. The player goes retired for out number 1.
Number 18, center fielder Scotty Young.
Scotty Young with a 3-run triple on his last at-bat comes to the plate. Young hitting
Very good. More places and self third with his speed. Really good all around player on the offensive side.
Young 5 doubles, 2 triples. Hitting just about 400 this year now. 12 stolen bases. I don't see that very often. The speed that 6'6" guy has in Young. Definitely a rarefied air. Now the 1-0 from Curcio. In the dirt inside the count 2-0. Reader stands on deck. He's 0 for 2. Young 1 for 2. Now the 2-0 from Curcio on the way. Bunt. Fouled off to the third base side by Scotty Young. That's an interesting approach there. A 2-0 count. Tried to lay down the bunt to get the first.
Sight had like best player. Over is on too. Sometimes see that when there's a shift in the MLB. No shift here, obviously. So interesting decision there.
Certainly fast enough to reach on the bunt placed down the third base line, but again, hottest bat in this Gens lineup. You think he'd swing it instead of trying to bunt his way on. Now the count 2-2. Three runs on 6 hits for the road team Matrix. 4 runs on 4 hits for the Gens. 1 error that came on Hernandez back in the 5th. So that one swung on and missed by Scotty Young. He strikes out.
Number
His
17,
5th strikeout of the
first
season.
baseman Chris Reader.
Brings up Chris Reader.
Forward on the pitch that seemed to have a lot of movement there. So
I still say.
as in there is it looked like Young thought was gonna stay lower edge of the zone, but they throw it down and out of the zone and not able for Young to make contact.
Curcio begins the outing back-to-back outs, tiring back-to-back Gens hitters. Reader at the plate, flew out to center as the Gens looking to capitalize on an already 4-run second inning. The great play made by the center fielder Bant to retire Reader ended the threat for the Gens. Curcio's pitch outside part of the plate, now 0-2.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Pitching. I'm gonna try to.
Now the 0-2 from Curcio on the way. Once fouled back as Reader stays alive. McNelly on deck if Reader is able to get on.
I'm not saying but as a whole, and you can figure out specifically, are there a good side or not? There is some long right after.
And the 0-2.
Those two minutes.
This is the plate in the dirt, now 1-2.
A walk here wouldn't work, so it's not the worst thing to get away here, but you don't want to really walk something, especially in this middle of the order. And then get 2 outs, so not the worst.
Now the count at 1-2. Pitch just off of the plate. Moves it 2-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
No, these guys do not.
Now the 2-2 on the way. One's chopped. The 5.5 hole into left for a base hit. Reeder with a 2-out hit. We'll bring up the third baseman McNelly.
Yeah.
Number 10, third baseman Aiden McNelly.
And now that you got a runner on base, it's time to hook it down for Crisio and get it out here. You don't want that runner in the scoring position. Definitely don't want deep hit that can allow him to get home all the way to first.
Especially with the trouble Curcio's had this year. Wonder if flashbacks are coming into his head. Terrible outing back in June against the Matrix, or excuse me, against the Metros. A wild pitch. Moves McNelly to second.
Just like that, Generals are threatening to add to this lead with that single wild pitch. It looked like Crisio was gonna get out of this inning 1-2-3, but now runner on second. Their 3-hole hitter and McNelly up. Possibly doing some damage here.
So.
Now the 1-0 from Curcio. Check swing. And plate umpire Mike Beal says he went, and the count now 1-1.
Close call there to me. Here it looked like he held back, but pointed up, it did go.
Pretty much yeah. To order that many places, no, you didn't go to the king. You know.
Reeder over at second, and the pitch lined into the glove of a sliding Schmidt, gets up, throws in time, and a nice pick by the first baseman Morano ends the threat. McNelly grounds out as we end the top half of the sixth inning. The Gens lead the Matrix for 3 after 5.
After 4.
Welcome back in for the ACBL action between the New Brunswick Matrix and Trenton Generals. I'm Jason Collins, taking a play-by-play leads, and partner with me on color commentary, Aaron Arthur. Our game today is brought to you by Bank, full service in bank with 38 branches serving the bank strives each day to financial products and exceptional customer service. For more information, visit your local branch or call 833-301-NFDK. At the first pitch for the ball, make it count 1-0. Jake Potts will stay on the mound in the 6th inning. Catches the plate now for 1-1 count. Sean Petrowski to the bat now, who today has an RBI single and a strikeout. Big cut there, bring the count to 1-2. He had a great opportunity for the Generals to score in that previous inning. The runner in scoring position. There's a strikeout there for Petrowski. But Kiriko was able to work out of that inning after retiring first two batters. After that run, I got second. Through
Number 44, the DH, Luke Bakunin.
Anthony St. John just left the press box. I believe we might see him close out this one. I was wondering that just before his teammate came up to get him.
Doing some of that now. Strikeouts on a day, looking to prevent the trifecta. Sounds now 1-0. Shots. That's an inside edge. Looking a little close. Pitch. Fine. Looking for second base and a little single for a good. End of the day. Number 12, Tyler J. Jacko. You will hold that little meter, middle holder, that is probably often provides insurance. They swap. That's low down for a whole lot. No toleration needs to see. For the one day that is out, make it my time. Skill is obviously sample. Certainly, I see something that drawing in your time. Strike out, I'll take a pitch. Nine. Center. A view. Nice round there with Scotty Young getting the big reach back. It's extreme. Not sure it's good and definitely up to make that back here for the second half. Number 3 has recruited Rudy. Keeping the speed on that play. So long way. Speed is center field. They're speed active, I could say, at Fred Walters Field. Went a long run, and most center fielders are not going to be able to make that play. Obviously, using a 6-6 frame to his advantage. Most center fielders not making that play, that would probably allow Rooney to at least advance to third, maybe even score, but potential run saved and catch there by Scotty Young. By Rooney as he steps in, 2 outs. Lacunas on first. Rooney 0 for 2 on a day with a strikeout looking fit. If we can at least get Lacunas in scoring position and give him a chance to tie this game. 0-1. Hit on the ground to McNelly. Makes grab and throws it over to read at first, but he's in there to save. Great job running down the bases by Rooney, preventing that out. Looks like it might go down to E5.
Number 26, shortstop, Andrew Schmidt.
Now a runner in scoring position for the top of the order and Andrew Schmidt.
That's a tough play for McNelly to make. He was a bit obstructed, but not sure where did the error come from? Did it bounce off his glove?
I heard in this press box that
It was ruled an error. You are correct.
It's kind of a difficult play to make.
Yeah, that was
So it could really go either way on.
and that was a tough scoring decision for McNelly. He's made a few nice plays tonight.
Schmidt in the bat now for the 0-1 count. Single on a day, making his 1 for 3 so far. Pitch from Potts. 2 inside, counts out 1-1.
And this is a huge doubleheader for both teams. The Gens 1 game up on the Matrix. Both teams vying for that 4th spot. And it really matters in terms of home matchup. They would play each other anyway in that 4-5 matchup. but obviously both teams would like to be at home.
Big swing there for Schmidt, making count 1 and 2. And like you said, not having to travel really helps you out any level of baseball.
I think it's probably actually more fact that you're more comfortable at your home park because a lot of these guys obviously are traveling to each game anyway. Most of them, granted, I believe live closer here than New Brunswick. That is true, but it's more knowing your own outfield, especially a place like that. You know, Scotty Young able to make that play, knowing how the field plays.
1-2 pitch. Potts. Over gets past Casamento. Gets to the backstop. It's both runners will advance. And come to think, but the defensive sub earlier when Casey came in had that affected that play. Would Casey be able to make that grab? A better defensive catcher that we've seen this season than Casamento.
Another tight game here. That's now third straight game where these teams have faced off, and all of them have been back and forth.
Schmidt fouls that off the plate. Keep the count at 2 and 2. Potts looking to get out of this inning without a run, but these two runners in scoring position. 2-2. Strike swing there. Schmidt did not go. And take the count 3 and 2. Very close to that check swing there. But going into the second base, something did not go. See how that affects us at that. Runner 2 scores here. Payoff pitch from Potts. Misses. And Giannis is going to score and tie the ball game on that pitch and miss the zone from Potts. Runs on the corners now after that walk.
And just now flurry of mistakes from the Gens.
Number
He's
13,
on the
first
income
base
there.
Gianni.
Advances to second on the wild pitch. Advances to third on the pass ball. And of course, Bakun is advancing to third on the wild pitch now, scoring on the pass ball.
That ball misses zone, counts now 1-0. And that was Potts really needed that there as they're coming to the middle of the order now, and they can definitely do some damage, especially Pirano and Ben.
And we talked about, I talked about at the beginning of Potts' outing, how he's allowed just about one walk per inning. His tendency to be wild, and we're seeing it right here. Be wild, a wild pitch, a walk. Now a 2-0 count to Morano.
Potts looking to come out of this inning with the game tied, going into the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 pitch. Up. Out of again. 3 balls in a row from Potts.
Yeah. Like, I mean, no, I disagree with you.
This would be a crushing blow.
Or even more.
The Generals let this game get away and give the Matrix a lead. Already
Now what's
pretty big that they Matrix are able to tie this. Currently, Generals are around. Pitch from Potts. Catches top in the zone. Counting now 3-1.
Potts especially has to be careful to Morano. The All-Star, he has some power. Don't want to leave anything out over the plate here.
3-1 from Potts. Hit high. Out of play. Come around and make the count full.
That was it.
Schmidt will be off for first. And full count, 2 outs.
That was a risky pitch there by Potts. I mean, he left that one over the plate, and Morano just tad early on that. He was just a little later. That could have been a big swing, allowing the Matrix to take the lead.
Payoff pitch. That's hit high for right field. For the right, it's actually Young calls off right and makes the play. Young went a long distance to make that grab, but after RBI,
Corner Brunswick in the sixth,
that's
one run
fast
on
two
one
fastballs
hit.
from
There was an error and
Haas.
two left
New
after
Brunswick
5
ties
and a half.
the game up at 4.
New Brunswick,
We'll be
4.
right back here for the bottom of the 6th inning as the Generals look to answer. Welcome back here to the cars for more ACBL action on NJ College baseball. We'll forget we'll find this because the major sponsor Trenton here on baseball. We'll find this the office officer Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Call 609-951-8700 7 meeting for representatives today. So the score is now tied for after not so great rule that Brian Cox has keep on playing block, but a few fat balls that allowed that run to score. The pitching for with that now.
General right fielder, number 26, Matty Wright.
Right? 1 for 2 on today with a single. And this bottom of the 6th inning. Gens will look to answer here. It can allow a save opportunity for the Gens pitcher who will probably replace Pies at the top of the 7th. That's hit in the deep right field. Right back is Pacheco. That's going to be at least 2. Wright is going to round second and head to third. Strong throw made by Pacheco, and Wright is in there sliding, and he is safe. Slid to the left side of the bag and avoided the tag from Baranoff. Great base running move there to avoid the tag by Wright. And great job showing off the speed there to get the first batter of this inning in scoring position.
That was a nice throw by the right fielder Bexco. And you could see Wright was thinking through it
Number
all the
98.
way, made a around and slides in safely just ahead of the tag by Baranek.
That's exactly what you need. The Generals need to make this, give them a chance at scoring and the lead here in the 6th inning. Jared Hernandez steps to the plate. Fouls that out of play, count out 4-1.
Talk about huge triples in the 6th inning. We saw Nick Berry with the huge triple in the 6th back in game 1 to win on Sunday against the Matrix. Now, this could prove to be a huge triple if Wright can come around to score just 90 feet away here in the bottom of the 6th in the tie game again against the Matrix.
Cal? Yeah. Hit high, the right field to Pacheco. Close in, maybe too close in to allow Wright to score. As Wright is off. Play at the plate. Wright is in there safe as Rudy is unable to make the play, and the Trenton Generals take the lead 5-4. As Rudy was unable to get the grab from the throw from Pacheco.
Bexco has a great arm over there in right field. It was no sure thing that Matty Wright was going to score.
Nascimento.
Luckily, Wright with the speed slides in safely. No tag was able to be applied by Rooney. The Gens using a little bit of speed to take the lead.
Yeah, very aggressive on the base pass from Matty Wright, forcing that triple and then that tag up there. That now Cole Casamento, everybody's gave Queso earlier in the game. Big cut there, bringing the count to 1-1. And Jones would certainly love some more insurance runs here. Give him a higher probability of taking this game to the top of the seventh. Casamento steps to the plate with the 1-1 count. Soft hit to the second baseman, Edwards. Has trouble making the play. That was a very awkward hop to Edwards. He had trouble grabbing it and allowed Casamento to get the first. Runner on first now with 1 out. As Jason Wolf steps in.
Pinch running for the Generals, number 4, Ryan Leary.
Ryan Leary has occurred in pitch run.
The DH, number 22, Jack Frankovic. Nope, we got a pinch hitter. Number 27, Drew Wire.
Jason Wolf at the plate. A lot of changes being made in this inning. The base pass and batter's box. That's runners on first, 1 out. Drew Wire is here 213 coming into the day. And looking at first base, Ryan Leary has 4 stolen bases in his ACBL season. Big cut there. Wires make the count 0-1. Garcia looking to keep this lead at a minimum to 1, giving Matrix a chance to come back in the top of 7. 0-1 pitch. Up in the eyes out Wires. That was now 1-1.
I agree to go to left and then St. John would have to go a low spot. Why?
Pitch 1-1. Low in the dirt. Brady blocks the line. Count down 2-1.
Except Northern
Wires in the senior's year at Northern Burlington. Wires 617 and 47 at bat, and added 30 RBIs to that. Least Nance Leary is third. Leary's speed possibly bring home with a big hit. 2-1 count. Hit high in the left field by Wires. Trowski goes to make a play. That ball is gone. That ball just kept carrying from Wires, and a big 2-run home run there to give the Generals 7-4 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. And what a clutch hit as Wires come off the bench to hit that home run.
Wires' first home run of the year. That comes in a big way, a 3-run lead. And if we do see St. John in the 7th inning, I'm going to just lock this one up. St. John's been dominant all season long, and Wires providing some much needed insurance. And I was about to say, good teams are going to capitalize on the opposing team's mistakes. You see the E4 on Edwards Jr., and that's followed by a big swing from Wires. You don't see many home runs here at Fred Walters Field.
Hit up the middle, high bouncing ball that Huntley would make the play after that big bounce. As Jack Frankovic would get there on the infield signal.
So you don't see many homers here. Wires first of the year, 6th and 7th RBIs.
Number 2,
Snuck right inside that left field foul.
Just like Triple earlier game, that ball just kept carrying. It looked like it was going to be a pop out, but it just had enough carry on it to sneak over that fence. Now 1 out with the runner at first for Clario. Ball catches zone, counts out 0-1. There goes a walk and a ground out, and it's going to be some far. It's 2 at bats. 0-1 pitch. Wire is fouled off. Frankovich was off. We'll head back to first now. Declare code will await the 0-2 count. Hershey is staying in the game despite the 3 runs given up this inning. Time called by Declarico. Cuts back in, the 0-2 count. Hershey looks over at first. The pitch. Popped out of play. Declarico. Keeping the count at 0-2.
Like new head coach Coryell certainly looks smart after the pinch hit replacement wires for Wolf.
Good decision as one of the clutchest hits for Wires this season. What? That ball missed. Make the count 1-2.
We'll see if Wires gets a start in game 2. We saw him draw 2 walks in the doubleheader on Sunday.
Hershey 6. She shakes off the sign. Gets set for the 1-2. Popped out of play again by Declarico.
See if that can jumpstart Wires for the tail end of this regular season. He's been scuffling most of this year, hitting just over 200, 12 strikeouts. Maybe that will be the start of a change for him at the plate.
1-2 pitch. Ride over the first baseman's head by Declarico. As Frankovich going to head to third. He's going to get there as no throw is made by Pacheco on that single by Declarico. Still only 1 out here. In the bottom
Number 18, fielder Scotty Young.
And that was smart by Mexico. Hold the ball, not try to be the hero and throw out the runner Frankovic at third. That could have just parlayed into more problems. Smart play by him, but now, if you're Curcio, you do not want to be facing Scotty Young. You might want to think about pitching him conservatively as you do have a base open.
Rounded to second baseman Edwards. Play made it short over to Pirano, but Scotty Young is in there safe. That's going to be another run across the plate for the Generals. The unearned run.
Number 17, first baseman Chris Reeder.
Score is now 8-4. Unearned run. The runner on first. 2 outs here. The bottom of the 6th. Move that now. Chris Reeder, 1 for 3 on the day with a single. Young is off. The throw down from Bruni. And Young is in there safe. That throw is just late. Walk on base for Scotty Young.
Oh, why is that run unearned?
The ball was struck for the pitch. That's the ball.
His ball?
Oh, sorry. Ball.
One 0 count now after that stolen base with Scotty Young. He looks to add more insurance to his already big General lead. Big swing just there on the ball that was low by Reeder, count down 1-1.
Maybe we'll go with that. Without so triple for everything you want. Sack fly and go first on the circle. We'll do 4 in that
Low 2 count now.
home run. Home run is
Yeah, that first pitch was actually trying on making the count 0-2 after that big swing and miss by Reeder.
The single.
Figured it eight hitter to reach the plate in this inning for the Generals.
Choice. Turn out to
Stay alive here.
that's.
Pitch. Hershey looks back. The pitch.
Never.
Oh, now zone count is now at 1-2. Scotty Young will play some mind game for Crisio over there at second.
Yeah. E4 would have been second. But, and then the field
Does have that speed and steal third.
charging me $29.99 for that story, and that's in picture. You can download it. So,
2 count. Crisio looks back to second. The pitch. Off the plate. Count now at 2-2 with 2 outs. A runner on second.
there's almost a lot.
Here coming day, getting 279, 96 at bat. He waits 2-2 count. Hit high, foul territory, and out of play by Reader. Keep the count at 2-2.
Well, the struggle for Curcio continues. Another 4 spot for the Gens in this one.
Hershey looked good coming out of that 5th inning. And 3 outs, 4 batters faced, but now 4 runs given up here. This inning. That's time to be broken as Reader hits that shower center field. It's going to drop, and Scotty Young's grounded third. The bait has a hard time getting it, and that's going to be an RBI single by Chris Reader. On the broken bat, Reader's able to bring in a run. Scotty Young rounded third to score.
The Gens offense really seems to come alive. That's
Nelly.
huge for this team as they just about a week away from the playoffs, little more than a week away from the playoffs. That's been the story all season long. Their offense has not provided enough for their pitching. But so far, a 4 spot in the second, 5 spot in the 6th, 7 runs in game 2 or game 1 on Sunday.
Hit high in the field by Hayden McNally. That's going to drop for extra bases as Reader's going to come around home. And McNally's going to stop at second stand, and then another run scored by the Generals, making the score now 10-4. Just running on second with 2 outs.
Hitting is contagious. What a drive by McNally.
Number
That was right from the 370 mark.
Fielder, Matty.
One
Right.
off the wall. And Curcio having nightmares of that June outing against the Metros. I should say 2 outings against the Metros when he was roughed up. Now 6 spot for the Gens, 10-4. That all but sealed this one.
And then Curcio coming today, as mentioned, with the ERA above 30 in those 4 innings and increasing here. Steps off the mound. Curcio. The bat now. Matty right, second at bat of this inning after tripling to lead off. Pitch from Curcio. Hit softly to the ground. That's going to be no play made on the infield single by Matty Wright. Second hit this inning. And Schmidt made the sliding stop, but it's too far away. First to make the throw. And McNally's already over the third.
Number 19, second baseman, Jared Hernandez.
And it's in the bat now. Sack fly earlier in this inning. First run for this inning.
Yeah.
We got to see what runs from the corners. That's that hit to the left fielder.
Oh.
The play is made by Petrosky. Like, he might have lost in some for the second, but they will make the grab, get out of this inning. We'll be right back.
For Trenton into
As the
6
Trenton Generals
6 runs
win
on 7 hits.
this win in the
There
top
was
of
an
the
error and 2
Welcome back to the ACBL baseball and NJ College baseball. Maybe now that 6 run bottom of the inning. Right there will be 10-4 in the top of 7. Closed out the first game. Game roughly by local Applebee's Joe March, Mercer and Bucks County. 3-0 US Highway 1. 3 was 30 in Hamilton. For the Newtown, Pennsylvania. Applebee's is a thousand awesome. Gianni Pirano. On the 16 by Jan.
Oh, right, right.
Now leads 4. Back now. For the Matrix is Dave back.
Few changes in the field for the Gens. Now behind the plate is Reader. He went from first to catcher. McNelly goes over from third to first. And Wires comes in.
Changes for the Generals. Chris Reaver is catching. And McNelly's over at first. Drew Wires is at third base. He's in the 7th spot in the order. And in the 6th spot in the order, pitcher Jake Potts. Jack Frankovic is now in left field. Leading off for the Matrix, the center fielder, number 19, Jay Ben.
You heard from PA announcer here.
Sorry.
Wires stays in the game after that 2-run homer in that last inning. This is a pitch hitter. Our first pitch misses for a ball. Potts staying in the game. That's hit high. Foul territory by Bant. Looks like it'll go out of play. Wires made a big reach over that fence, hanging onto it, unable to make the play. If he was able to make the grab, would have been an out as his feet would have stayed into play, but very difficult grab. Count now 1-1. Then on the day, 1 for 3 with a single in the first, has an RBI on a ground out. 1-1. Up and down zone, count now at 2-1. Reach for Potts. Hit hard. Castellanos at second. That's going to be a single for Jay Bant to lead off this inning.
Number 15, third baseman, Brian Baranoff.
Baranoff in the hit now for the Matrix with a walk and a single on the day. The strikeout going 1 for 2 so far. Gets a sign, looks over. Bant at first. Steps up and down for the time.
Actually, about the 27th, or about the 24th. I mean, no, that 25th, the 27th is. Okay, so no game on the 25th, or that.
Pitch for Potts. Fouled back. By Baranoff. We make the count 0-1.
So Potts comes into this game. One that looks like the Gens' chance to win up 4-3, and obviously it was tied. Now comfortable lead again, so not a high pressure situation for Potts.
Blocked there by Reader. Prevents Bant from advancing to second. Count now 1-1.
Don't want to give anything to this Matrix team. Middle of their order, having a nice day. You got Petrovsky aiming in the 6th spot, RBI single. Edwards Jr. has a double. Baranek has reached twice today.
1-1 pitch from Potts. Check swing there. He does not go to Baranoff. Counts down at 2-1. Put that ball in the dirt. Potts gets set for the 2-1 count. Going dirt, blocked there by Reader. Count now at 3-1. Baranoff steps in for the ditch count. up and inside. That's going to be a walk for Marinot. Second of the day. And he runs that first and second here with no outs.
Number 11, second baseman, Brad Edwards Jr.
Hello, earlier. Oh, trying to get her soul. Yes, Jones was playing in the second. I was just looking around all trying to turn to it. We're still having speed. I don't know. I don't know. Putting in a bag into the program. Definitely imagine it. Speed, power, not even the beat, double player. Yeah, totally amazing that money tag better. We're on it first. Number 3, Lafayette, Schmidt. Third. Get off out in the back. There's a no in the first right. 2 is on the line. We got moving off the line today. He's moving for that. And they're not there for you. 1-1. Strike. Game on. Oh, that. Yes,
And before this one is over, so former NJ College Baseball Nation intern Brian McCarty signed as a free agent with the Blue Jays. Jason, does that mean we might get a shot in the MLB draft?
Maybe. Maybe one day. Our Paul Mrs. count is now 3-2. 2 outs here.
I don't know. I mean, signed as a free agent, maybe we have a chance to play professionally. You never know. Maybe being an intern for GM Mike Olson's a pipeline to professional baseball.
Full count. This is zone. Count is now. It's a walk now. Runs on the corners. After Ox was half a strike away. Getting out here. Now runs on the corners.
Number 44, the DH, Luke Bakunis.
Bakunis in the bat now.
Oh, yeah? Awesome. Definitely.
That is mean it's 7 ball. Has a single and 2 strikeouts on the day. That's awesome. Third one here. Pitch up. Out of zone. Count is now 1-0. Bakunis batting 240 on season with 25 at bats. That's probably more of a gateway. Top is over the first. The 1-0. Off the plate, count now at 2-0. The guy who's done it for years? Yeah. Pitch for Potts. Swing and miss there. For Bakunis. Count 2-1.
You would know if you got like purpose. Yeah, I know. Okay. How long has he been? I'm not sure. Because I just got him in the group like 2 years back.
That's hit. Second baseman Hernandez. He's gonna throw over to McNelly. And that play is made for the final out of the ball game.
2 hours
After letting runners get on the corners, Jake Potts works his way out of this inning. No runs coming across in the top of the 7th, and the Generals win the ball game 10-4.
Just an all-around nice win for the Gens. Two fielding miscues, but 4 spot in the second And obviously the 6th spot in the 6th, getting things done. A low pressure 7th inning for Potts. He allowed 1 run, but did not make a difference. The Gens now winners of 4 of their last 5, putting themselves in good position for that number 4 seed.
Jen's bats came alive, but it mattered that bottom. Be right back in for game 2 in a round. Be fun. And it was Lord Street. For NJ College Baseball Nation, I'm Jason O'Connell.